Good morning, everyone. It is Facebook Live Lunch with Lori on Wednesday, October 18th, and I cannot even believe that it is October 18th already. The time is passing very quickly, very quickly. Today, I would like to talk to you about my card club and the cards that we made in our card club for October. If you're one of my card club members and you've not received your packet, you'll be surprised when you see your cards here. Let me get my laptop set up so I can see your comments. Sometimes it takes a minute. There we go. All right. In front of me, I have the 4 cards that my card club members made for this month, and we have a fairly simple one. I had a struggle this month with the designer series paper because, as everybody knows, the inventory has been a little crazy, but I stocked the report until it was available, and so I had to switch from September to October. So pivot was definitely the word of the day. Actually, the whole word of the catalog right now. So if there's an item that you're looking for, please be patient. Everything is coming back except for the ghosts and the bats. Those have sold out permanently. If there's something that you're particularly looking for, let me know, and I'm happy to keep an eye on whatever that item is. Right now, I think mostly it is just embellishments, gems, and ribbons. So most of the designer series papers are available. If not, they're becoming available Monday, I believe. So like I said, if there's something particular that you're looking for, let me know. But like I said, I wanted to take a minute to show, these are my 4 card club cards that we made on Monday. Every month I will have 4 different projects, and I try to showcase some of the various things in a particular suite. And this month was the Autumn Leaves suite. So these were our 4 cards. I'm actually going to make 3 of these for you in just a minute. And then I'll talk about them a little more. I am going to show you briefly what was in this month's card kit. Each month, Card Club is $39.50, and that includes shipping direct to your door. If you're not located local and you can't come to my in-person night, then it includes shipping right to your door. You don't have to do a thing. It is a PayPal subscription, so you don't have to worry about paying each month. It's already taken care of, and I take care of things on my end, and then I just ship it to you. If you are local to St. Louis, then you would get your card packet here, and you would come to my house, and you would make the cards. So this month, they got 2 pieces of the distressed copper foil designer series paper, or specialty paper. I'm going to show you these because they are super pretty. There's one that has pretty peacock in it, with the pretty peacock background, and then the other one is just solid copper. So everybody got 2 sheets of that, which is a half pack. I did go a little overboard this month, and I gave everyone a whole package of the designer series paper. Since it is so hard to come by, I decided to go ahead and give a full pack instead of a half pack. So everybody got a full package of the All About Autumn designer series paper. They got a package of linen thread. The ribbon that matches the suite is actually still not available, so I went with linen thread, which is versatile and can go with a whole bunch of things. And then the speckled dots. And when I saw the speckled dots in the catalog, I was like, it's okay. But actually, since I have them, I do actually like those. And this package over here is open, so I can actually show you all the colors. The Copper Clay, Mossy Meadow, Moody Mauve, and then this one, I'm not actually sure what color that is. It may be, is that vanilla? It's an off-white color. I'm not sure if you can see that color, but they're actually much prettier in person than they are in the catalog, which happens a lot, actually. And then the other thing that was in their packets was the 4 cards that they would make. So 8 card packets in the packet. setting that aside, let me show you some of the projects. The first one is a note card, just a simple note card that's been stepped up just a little bit. I used the die from the Autumn Leaves bundle. It adds just a little bit of texture. I went ahead and did that so you didn't have to hear my creaky old emboss machine do its thing. And it's just going to add a little bit of oomph to the card. I also have already die cut some leaves. So and these are from the back sides of the Designer Series paper. There's one that's Pretty Peacock, one that's Copper Clay, and one that's Mossy Meadow. So I went ahead and I die cut those so you didn't have to watch. For this one, it's a vanilla note card, and I'm going to use Pretty Peacock ink, and I'm going to stamp I'm Thankful right on the front. This is a perfect fall thank you card. Hopefully I can get it straight. And I would stamp the words first because that way I can place the leaves accordingly. And then I'll go ahead and attach this to the panel. How is everybody today? Is there anything exciting going on in your world? Like I said, I can't believe it's already October 18th and we are moving towards Halloween. I feel like Halloween should already be over. And then Christmas. And I just did a small border around the outside. If you're not a small border kind of person, you can always trim it just a little bit. And I may trim this one just so it fits a little nicer. If you already have adhesive on it, the best way to trim something is just to turn it over and trim a little bit. And hopefully your adhesive doesn't stick. All right. All right, let me try this again now that there we go. Sometimes when you're dealing in 1/8 of an inch increments, it's a little tight. All right, so there's that part. Actually, I can go ahead and put that on the front of the note card as well. So if you need a quick, easy thank you note, this looks fancy and hard, classy, but it is definitely an easy one. The note cards come with the envelope, so you can just whip it up really quick. You could have even done this directly on the note card without a panel. All right, it's always makes me nervous. On the back side, I should show you the paper. The back side, and put a little liquid glue and go with let's see, Pretty Peacock on top. I should have laid these out so I was ready. I'm gonna go a little bit over the design work. Leaf number 2, and then the Copper Clay one at the bottom. You put the leaves anywhere you want. I just did kind of a falling line. Do any of you watching have this paper? Now I have to decide where to put it. I'm gonna put it out here just a little bit. All right, so then I'm going to embellish it with some of the speckled dots, and I think this time I'm going to use the Copper Clay. Don't think too much. I'm trying to break the habit of overthinking. And there you have it, a quick, simple note card that's ready to go. And if you wanted to stamp the envelope or add a leaf to that, you absolutely could. Or you could cut the Designer Series paper to go on the back of the envelope flap. All right, so there's card number 1 from Card Club. That was one of the easy ones. All right. All right, this one is a little more complicated, and I have to give credit to my friend Kathy, who's in my downline, and she brought this to a team meeting, and I asked her permission to use this for Card Club because I thought it would be a fun thing for people to see, because it's a fun fold, sort of. All right, so the vanilla panel will go on the inside. This goes on the inside, so I'm going to set that aside. All right, so I have a piece of cardstock or designer series paper that I've cut at 4 by 4 by 4 3/4. And then I have a Moody Mauve. Yes, pre-mission, Lisa. That's exactly. I asked pre-mission. Our middle son used to say pre-mission instead of permission, and I was so sad when he stopped doing them. His first grade teacher ruined that for me. Who corrected this child? All right, so to make this one, I'm going to take this panel, the whole card front, and I'm going to cut 2 inches off of one end, and I'm going to set that aside. Then I'm going to cut 1.5 inches off the same side. So I'm going to end up with 3 pieces. I have this piece that's 1.5, and I have this piece that's 2, and then I have the rest of the card base. Okay, I'm going to fold that, so that's going to be the top of the card base. Set that aside. Then for my designer series paper, look at my numbers to make sure I don't cut the wrong thing, because I only brought one piece of paper over. All right, so this is the 4 3/4 side. I'm going to cut 1 3/4 of an inch off. There's one. I'm going to cut another 1 3/4, 2, and then I have another one that's 1 1/4. So I have 3 panels of designer series paper. So I'm going to hold on to those. Get my trimmer out of the way. All right, and when I first saw this paper, I thought, why is this? There are these leaves Moody Mauve. Like, there's not really any Moody Mauve in leaves. And I went for a walk the other day, and I was walking down the street, and I was like, oh my goodness, there really are Moody Mauve leaves. When you look at the back, I wish that I had taken a picture, because they were almost identical to this color, and I couldn't even believe it. Well, hey, Jane Grayson, how are you? Thanks for watching today. All right, so I have 3 panels. Crooked panels. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this designer series paper. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to do it on the other side. All right, well, this one is going to be different than my original sample because I already messed up. Welcome to my world. This one's going to be more leafy. All right, so I'm going to put that on there. There's one. Now I'm going to, on the small panel, I'm going to put the adhesive on this side, and I'm going to do the one with the foil, so the foil shows. All right, so then I have this piece. And then this piece, the last piece, is going to go on the top, right up here. All right, so I'll put that one there. The beauty of the leaves is that it doesn't matter which direction they go. All right, so we have that panel, we have this panel, and we have this panel. And if I put them all back together, they would fit on the card front like this, but we're not going to do that. We are going to put dimensionals on the back of this panel on each end. I'm going to use the big ones for this. All right, So I have the dimensionals on each end. All right, I'm going to turn it this way so I can actually see at the same time as you. All right, so I'm going to line this end up with the end of the card. Once you have it lined up, then we're going to take this piece, and I've got to stand up. You can't see me standing up, but I'm standing up, and we're going to put it down like this so that this is all attached. And it opens like this. If you wanted to, you could add a little adhesive underneath here just to keep it together, but it should be fine. Or you could add another dimensional on the back so that it's closer. All right, now your vanilla panel for the inside. We have to figure out where to stamp, because if I stamp this randomly, you know I'm gonna mess up, because that's what I do. So we aren't gonna attach it yet, but we are going to put it in the middle like we would be placing it. I'm gonna pull down the flap, and then I'm gonna use my Moody Mauve ink, and I'm gonna stamp the words right in that open space. Now I can actually use my adhesive and put that panel down, because you don't want to attach your panel before you stamp it, because as I always say, every paper has two sides until you glue it down, and then it only has one, and then you're out of luck. So I'm going to attach that. The flap comes down. We'll attach some Moody Mauve bling, speckled dots. Let's see. Don't overthink. And there you have a fun card. You can sign the inside underneath this section where no one will see it. If you wanted to put some bling on the outside or even some fancy shiny ribbon, you could absolutely do that as well. So again, looks fancy, but super simple as long as you follow the right cut marks. All right. And then the third card. I'm not going to make the circle card, but I am going to talk about it a little bit. For my third card, I'm going to have you pick the designer series paper that you would like to see. Actually, let's go with these three. The treetops, the pumpkins, or the copper clay with the copper embossing. If any of you have a preference, shout out there in the comments, and I'll see what I can do. Anybody? If not, I will make a decision on my own. I know what my sample is, so I can do that, but I was hoping for a different one. Oh, treetops, pumpkin. Oh, okay, I'm going to make both of you happy. I'm going to show my pumpkin sample, and I will make the treetops this time, because my sample is already done in the pumpkins. So I'm going to go with the treetops. Thank you for voting. Let me get my card. Where'd it go? Whoa. For real. I just had my card bases here. That is the wackiest thing I've ever done. Well, maybe not the wackiest, but close. All right. I trusted my ladies the other night, and I said, I am giving you 2 pieces of vanilla, a small one and a big one. My friend Sarah would be very unimpressed with my bravery. She would laugh at me and say, you gave them both pieces? Yes, yes I did. And no one messed up, so I'm very excited about that. For the inside, I'm gonna use the bigger panel. I'm sitting that aside, and this one's gonna be for the front. And it is 3 3/4 by 5. So then I'm gonna cut down this designer series paper to 3 1/2. 3.5 by 4 3/4. All right, so that's going to be the card front. And somehow I messed it up. Yay. Maybe this is the wrong size. What are the odds of that? Did I cut something else wrong? 3 3/4. Oh, look at that. This one's too big. 3 3/4 by 5. Maybe I cut both wrong. Okay. All right. Let's take another 1/8 onto this piece. Mercy. All right, that will work. Oh, the magic of live TV and the sadness of live TV. You get to see all the mistakes. Lisa's not here to catch my things before everybody shows up. Actually, in my defense, I was out. I had an appointment this morning and I had a meeting, and so I was a little bit rushed when I came home. All right, so there's our leaves. We're gonna put that, lucky for me this didn't matter, on the front of the copper clay card base, and we're gonna use dimensionals for that. Has anybody started their Christmas cards yet? I am, of course, behind. And I'm going to start a Facebook series. I'm going to do a 4-card class, Christmas classes, 4 Christmas classes, and those are going to start next week. So stay tuned for that. They're going to be separate and different from my regular Facebook lives here. So stay tuned. All right. Absolutely not. Thank you, Lisa. You just made me feel so much better. All right, so we've got that on our card front. Then I used the die, also from the Autumn Leaves bundle, and I'm going to stamp with a grateful heart right on the front. All right, so we have that. And then to add a little zhuzh to it, I'm going to use linen thread. I really am. I had everything out here, thank goodness. All right, so the linen thread, and we're going to do a Lori bow, which means we're not tying a bow. We're just going to wrap it around my fingers a couple of times and cut it off. All right, then I'm going to tape it on the back just like that, so it's a little bit of a, and Scotch tape. That's what I use for bows on the back of everything like this when I'm taping it on the back. It's just some loops. It doesn't have to be a fancy bow, although my tape didn't stick. Just get an extra piece. Ta-da! All right, so then, because it's a little bulky on the back, you need to use dimensionals so that it pops up. If you use regular adhesive, those will pop right off. Okay, I'm going to use a small one there just for size. You can make your tails of your ribbon as long or short as you want. I'm going to trim them off just a smidge. And then this guy is, of course, going to get some speckled dots as well. I'm going to go with the unidentified color. And I'm going to make a line right here on the sentiment piece. Take your pick tool is great until you can't get them off there. 3 speckled dots. I actually got them in a straight row, even when I had them not in front of me. All right, and then I won't forget to put the inside piece in. There are some small words that will actually be perfect on the inside. The stamp set has, I'm thankful and with a grateful heart, and then it says for all you do, today and every day, and also to have you as a friend. And I think all of those are really perfect. But I'm actually, let me show you one. All right, so with a grateful heart, and well, I didn't stamp it. I'm gonna break my own rule, see if I can do it. Rules were meant to be broken, right? Ask forgiveness instead of permission. It's probably how my kids operated. All right. So these are tiny. This is the smallest block, and you literally have to barely tap. Otherwise, you will have ink all over your block, and that is not fun. I'm going to do for all you do right in the middle, so you can see how big those words are, or actually how tiny. They're actually quite tiny. If you so chose, you could cut another strip of DSP, put it across the bottom. Maybe I should do that with my, that doesn't fit. Let's do that. Let's add a little decoration to the inside. That piece is 4 by 5 1/4, so I'm going to cut a 1/2 inch strip and then cut it at 4. And then we'll just glue that on the bottom of here to tie it to the front. Ooh, and that's the danger when you cut things at a difference. All right, so it looks like that. I'm going to cover up that little piece right there so that no one will see it. All right, so there is the leaves, and there is the pumpkins. This one's a little smaller because I cut the size wrong because I was trying to hurry. So the pumpkins and the trees. I think any of those patterns would be perfect. This one I did not decorate the inside, so it didn't get the bonus. So like I said, these cards are the ones that we made in my card club. Every month is different. We concentrate on one particular suite. I would love to have you as a member of Card Club. There's no obligation to stay on forever like a regular Card Club, and it is $39.50 a month, and you get the consumables. You don't have to add on the bundle if you don't want to. You can make it at home with whatever you have, or you can use mine when you come here. The UPS man is walking down my driveway, so he's probably going to ring my bell at any point. So if you hear the doorbell, please ignore that. But I'm going to show you this fun card, and I received this. This was the 4th card that my ladies made. Yep, there's the doorbell. The 4th card that my ladies made for club, and I received this card at a swap when I was in Kansas City, and the lady's name was Jan, and it's using the deckled circles, and it is 2 early espresso deckled circles of the same size. And then we cut one of the pieces of the designer series paper the same size as the circle. We glued the designer series paper on the front, and it's a little off. This actually is the sample, so I might have lined it up a smidge better, or a little more, not better. But it doesn't really, it's all good. So we put that on the top circle. The bottom circle we scored at 1/4 inch. So we laid it down on the scoreboard and we scored it at 1/4, and then the adhesive went here. And so this is the only place where the 2 pieces are attached, and then it is able to open. This was just a smaller deckled circle, and then we used the copper specialty paper with 2 nested deckled circles to make the ring, and we just added a little bit of liquid glue. The die cuts are leaves that are in the bundle, and to make them a little bit sparkly, we used copper embossing powder, but we used we didn't want it all over the whole thing. So we gently took a sponge and put that on the Cajun Craze paper, just in various spots, and then cut out the leaves so that every leaf was had a little bit of different sparkle to it. And then we embellished with, we stamped directly on that paper with espresso ink, added the gems, the bow, and then a leaf on the inside. So that was this month's card club. Next month, we are jumping to Christmas. I'm not sure exactly which bundle we're going to use yet. I'm going to post the link today. If you'd like to join Card Club and check it out, you can do it once, you can do it twice. And if you stick around for 6 months, my ladies just finished their 6th month, and you receive $25 in free product of your choice, actually. So thank you for joining me today for Lunch with Lori. I appreciate all of you, and I will look forward to seeing you next Wednesday at 11:30. And also, I look for my Christmas series class that'll also be starting next week. Have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine while it lasts.